It doesn't get any bigger than this. The Heartbreak Kid.
The following contest is a no-holds-barred match. Making his way to the ring from San Antonio, Texas, weighing in at 227 pounds, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
The showstopper, Mr. WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels has earned every single moniker bestowed upon him in his career. Gentlemen, Hulkamania is about to run wild.
There is only one, the Immortal.
And his opponent from Venice Beach, California, weighing in at 302 pounds, Hulk Hogan.
So between WCW and WWE, Hogan has had double-digit world title reigns. Not to mention he's a two-time WWE Hall of Famer and the biggest name in the business in the 80s and 90s.
Man, now see, I just recently watched this match myself. You put me on to this match. I did not. I lost touch of watching wrestling from 2002 till I want to say 2009, the end of 2009-ish. I was in a whole different transition of my life. I was raising my daughter and I was distracted from my true passion. You know what I mean? I almost let them take me from my joy, steal my joy. So, KD, take us through this time and era, 2005, and the wrestling climate and what was going on here.
Okay. Well, this is 17 years later after the last SummerSlam we mentioned. So a lot of things have changed. Well, it's not WWF no more. It's now WWE. Still pay-per-view. And this is at this point, as you guys know now today, this was the part of the first brand split. There are two separate shows, but at events like SummerSlam, they were dual branded. They all jointly come together. And also a fun fact here, we highlighted the 1991 SummerSlam. That was the last SummerSlam Hogan was in until this SummerSlam here.
Wow.
17 years later, he arrived. It's a coincidence. We just covered the SummerSlam. He was just in the main event. He would not appear in no more SummerSlams until this event here. So this was definitely a homecoming for SummerSlam-wise for Hulk Hogan. But now he's not that Hulk Hogan no more. He's still red and yellow, but he's a lot older. And now he's going against another star, which is, legend versus icon. That's the whole marketing brand. Main event, Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan. Shawn Michaels and Hogan were tag team partners, Hogan, Shawn Michaels looked up to Hogan, Hulk idolized. They had a tag team match against Carlito and another person. And Shawn Michaels mocked him. Not mock him, but, emulated him, did the whole muscle thing, pumping the muscles, flexing. And then he sweet-chinned Hogan and looked down on him. And this was Shawn Michaels' first heel turn since he returned to WWE back in 2002. First time he ever did a heelish move.
Okay.
Yeah. So this really beefed it up. And Hulk Hogan cut a promo saying, Shawn, if you want to match me, you didn't have to super kick me because it's asked. And Shawn Michaels, being an arrogant heel, he mocked Hogan in interviews with CNN with Larry King-ish style. He dressed like Hogan, mocked him. It was very funny. It was just a funny feud. But rumor has it that they were supposed to have a 3-series match. Hogan will win, I think, all of them, if not 2 of them. And Shawn Michaels was like, I'm not doing all that. Hogan, you're not getting over all these matches. So that's why the whole infamous overselling, which is hilarious. Like I said, the whole feud was hilarious. Even the match.
It was.
Jumping over. And if you look at the footage, Hogan looked pissed. He said, "Stop it, Shawn." And Shawn said, "Shut up." That was funny. So there was real heat between these two. And this is a case of Hogan's politicking going way too far. Because we got to remember like I said, it's not the same Hogan. Hogan at this point was 51, early 50s. And Shawn Michaels still pretty much in his good prime. So Shawn Michaels like, dude, you're not even at Hulk Hogan no more. And you still politicking? No. And I don't blame Shawn for that. So it's just Hogan didn't want to let go of the torch, as they call it. But it was a very good, funny match. Now, did we get a rematch or any other type of match we too? Thank goodness we didn't get that. But it headlined the SummerSlam. And also we know for other great moments at SummerSlam, but this particular main event was funny. It was a great event. Very great event. This was at Washington, D.C. We know that it was attendance of 18,000. And the tagline, Hogan vs. Michaels for the first time ever. And this was a Raw thing. Shawn Michaels was always on Raw. Like I said, branded. But it was just funny, though. SummerSlam, funny. There was a lot of good moments on this card here. A lot of good ones.
No doubt.
05 was actually a good match, a good year for Shawn Michaels, because this is the same year he had the WrestleMania match against Kurt Angle and other stuff. So he actually had a very good year. But I'm going to go down. We can talk about other matches on the card.
I bet. So, show kicked off with Chris Masters defeating Hurricane. Then we went into Chris Benoit defeating Orlando Jordan to win the United States title, guys. Orlando Jordan was underrated.
Yeah, I liked Orlando Jordan. He was part of Cabinet with JBL on SmackDown.
Okay. Yep. And we know Chris Benoit was on his way up.
Yeah. Yeah, he was on his way to win another world title until his demise.
Mm-hmm. Then that was followed by what you see on the board there, Edge defeating Matt Hardy via KO.
Well, that looks like the Guerrero and Ray match. That right there on the screen.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's all right. Just want to say it's not the match. I never knew Edge and Matt Hardy be that short.
See, I don't got a picture. of that thing. But this is Ray. This is Ray and Eddie. Is Ray and Eddie. So yeah, I don't got a picture of Matt and Edge, but I know there is some backstage politics that you can fill us in on with this match right here. I know the story might be long, but can you give us a quick skim through of what's going on here? Because like I said, SummerSlam riddled with the fiddle. It's riddled with the ball.
Well, okay. Well, we know that Edge and Matt Hardy were close friends for a long time. They always had a rival tag team. Hardy Boys with Matt Hardy, him and his brother Jeff versus Edge and Christian, Edge and his boy Christian. They always had, and then we know Lita was the girlfriend of Matt Hardy. And Matt Hardy, I think Lita went down with a injury. It was an injury. And Lita was riding along with Edge. And they got close. And then they ended up having an affair. And Matt found out about it. And he dumped Lita. What happened with Matt Hardy, he took the real life affair, he broadcasted it on Like This. And when he did that and WWE management found out what happened, he was released due to that. He was released because he put it out there. But here's the thing. This is pre-social media. If anything, it was the beginning. We were still in Black Planet or beginning of Facebook days. Anyway, I guess the fans saw how Matt was being done, all the backlash they gave Lita and Edge. Vince McMahon, he loves to turn real life situations to a storyline. He saw that, and they petitioned for Matt to come back. They said, let's bring him back and let's start a storyline. And this we hear he remember on an episode of Raw, he let Matt cut a promo. And I know one part in the match, I think it was on Raw, it was like a real fight between Matt and Edge. If you look, they had to be separated for real. It looked like because if you to tell in a promo, Matt wasn't even calling him Edge. He was calling by what they call him now, AEW, his real name, Adam. That's how he knew it was real. I'm like, whoa, called him Adam. So it was a real fight, But anyway, it led to a match at SummerSlam, and it wasn't a long match. It was about 4 minutes, maybe 4.5 minutes. And it was just Edge defeated Matt Hardy by technical knockout. Was not long at all.
That shocked the mess out of me when I got to watching this, following the feud, understanding what happened, and tracking it down to this match. And like, wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. Because Hardy's head had hit the ring post and he was bleeding. And Matt Hardy wasn't capable of defending himself, and the referee just stopped the match, and Edge won. Many fans were very disappointed, as well as me, because it was such a highly anticipated match by the fans, because they knew what was going on, and to end in 4.5 minutes, like, it's a bummer.
Right, you wanted to see Edge get his ass. I wanted to see Edge get his ass whipped.
Yeah,
you stole that man girl.
Yeah, Mr. Steal Your Girl. So, it was crazy though, and Edge, he just all over the place. But definitely, that was the whole story between Edge and Matt Hardy, and they had more matches, but. This match was very short. That's what we talked about. It was only 4.5 minutes. A little under 5 minutes. So it was, you would thought it was a squash match, but it was technical knockout match.
Yikes. So now I was getting ahead of myself. We got this, which was the ladder match. Winner gets custody of Dominique. This was Rey Mysterio defeating Eddie Guerrero. Now, I know a lot of us was joking about, we think that this SummerSlam should have been a ladder match as well, and it should have been for the custody of Dominique as well. What do you think?
This was a good story because we had never seen a match like this before, where they were saying Eddie may be the dad and all that stuff and all of that. But what's funny, this match had a real life shoot as well. If you remember, Eddie Guerrero was at the top of the ladder. Vicky missed her cue to come out there. Eddie was going off.
Good call. Yes.
People forgot about it. He said, hey,
Eddie was mad. Eddie was mad, hot. But he impromped it. Yeah, he did improp to it, but he was hot.
Because Vicky, remember, she stopped him from getting the briefcase. That's what caused him to lose.
Right.
But Vicky came out way too late. Yeah, and Eddie was hot. Then she came out, she held on to Eddie, and Mysterio retrieved the briefcase. So
yeah, botched the whole ending.
And it was whole ending. What's crazy is, other than the Batista, this was like one. No disrespect to that storyline, because it really wasn't finished due to him passing away. This was the last big storyline Eddie Guerrero was in before he passed. The last big storyline. Batista was starting to get big, but it ended prematurely. That's why I'm not going to count that. It was the last active storyline he was in. I was talking about big. This was the last one. So this was very significant for Eddie. And of course, this is his last SummerSlam he was ever in, because he passed away. He never been in SummerSlam again after this.
Facts. Now that match right there was followed by the Eugene Invitational. Winner gets Angle's Olympic gold medal Kurt
Yeah.
Angle defeated this guy. Now, can you brief us on who the hell is Eugene, bro? Who is brother Eugene?
Eugene is the storyline nephew of Eric Bischoff. If you guys remember, Triple H and Evolution, he had a little story. He had a big story with Triple H Evolution, and Triple H used Eugene after Triple H lost the World Heavyweight Championship to Chris Benoit at WrestleMania 20 in New York City, your town. He was using Eugene to try to use him to get the world title back if Eugene had screwed Chris Benoit, and it failed. Did not work. Chris Benoit retained his title, and when Triple H and Evolution started to work, Triple H Evolution days, he got that work. That was like the big storyline, and he was, like I said, he was the nephew of Eric Bischoff, and he was partnered with William Regal as well. And Triple H, I think Triple H and Evolution had beat up William Regal, but that's how he got noticed. And after that storyline was done, remember that was 2004, a year prior. Then they just threw him in this storyline here with Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle wasn't doing anything. It was silly. They weren't really doing anything. Eugene was a big Triple H fan. That's how he got with Triple H, and The Rock fan. He would do the Stone Cold Stunner, the Rock Bottom, pedigree. He did all that during this match with Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle just, he snapped that ankle lock on him, and he tapped Eugene out, and that's how he won the match. But anyway, that's how Eugene was known. He was really known through the Triple H Evolution storyline after Triple H lost his title at WrestleMania.
Okay, cool. Now that match was followed by Randy Orton defeating the Undertaker. Now, man, you got to. This is all you right here, man. All I do know is this feud. All I heard about this feud is that Randy Orton's father is dead wrong for injecting himself in this feud and not saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually covered this on Red Carpet Ring, the very early Red Carpet Ring, when it was really early. This feud was actually underrated. Now, this is a continuation of the feud from WrestleMania, 21 earlier this year, where Orton did lose. This was when the streak was implemented, and now Undertaker, he lost this match due to distraction of Bob Orton, and it caused Randy Orton to hit the RKO. Now they will have another match at Armageddon and another match with Orton's dad versus Undertaker. This was a very long rivalry. It was on SmackDown brand, but this was a very, very underrated feud, and it was very pretty much the age of Orton that he was coming out. Very good story. I like how Undertaker let Orton get the win, because Undertaker already won at Mania. But this was a very, very good feud, and it furlonged the feud. And yeah, like you said, Bob Orton was wrong, and what he referred to is Bob Orton. I think it was the Armageddon match. It wasn't this match. You're talking about Armageddon, where he had blood, and he had hepatitis C, which Bob Orton thought went away 30 years prior. That's how he was first diagnosed with it. And once he found out he had it, he informed Mr. Talent of Relations, the head of that, John Laurinaitis, who also knew about it. But the thing about it is they did not inform the Undertaker about this. And that's what caused Undertaker to get hot. And I don't blame him, because he could have had hepatitis if that went inside his bloodstream, and he would have been with it. And it caused the release from Bob Orton, and he has not been seen in WWE since then. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Thanks. Good wrap up. And that match, guys, was followed by John Cena versus Chris Jericho. And what was the little backstory on this match right here?
Now, Chris Jericho, this is when John Cena first got drafted to Raw in the last pick. He's fresh off SmackDown winning title of WrestleMania 21. Like I said, Chris Jericho, I think he had just turned heel. Anyway, they had a match at SummerSlam after I think this was the last it was pretty much a last attempt of Chris Jericho trying to, win the title because, Eric Bischoff was the GM of Raw. He did not approve of John Cena being champion. He wanted Jericho to get the belt off him, but John Cena would not do this the dirty way, storyline-wise. And Cena hit a FU, as you see here, and he retained the title. He defeated Chris Jericho. Now, the following night after this match, Chris Jericho had one more chance, and this is the You're Fired match. And if Chris Jericho would not win the WWE Championship, another opportunity against Cena, it was a You're Fired match. And of course, Cena won, and this is the way to write off Chris Jericho as he was exhausted from the WWE schedule, being on the road 300 days a year. He took time off, clear his head. We want to see him for another 2 years. And then after this, he started a storyline with Kurt Angle, who just beat EG. But there's a way to write off Chris Jericho. Jericho was exhausted. He was frustrated with WWE, inner stories, and all that. So they wrote him off this way. That's why he did not win the WWE Championship.
All right. Now that match was followed by the main event, and we quite went over the main event real thorough. We went over the main event thoroughly.
Well, we had this Batista versus JBL for the world title. That was right before the Hogan and HBK match.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right. We do have the Batista. Right, there you go, right there. The Batista versus JBL. Backstory.
Yes. Okay. Like John Cena was drafted to Raw from SmackDown, or in reverse, Batista was the very last pick. He was the world champ who also won at WrestleMania 21. He got drafted from Raw to SmackDown. Him and Cena basically switched places as world champs on either show. JBL, he became number one since they didn't know that Batista was coming to SmackDown. They had wrote in that SmackDown would get a new championship. It was called, which was dumb to me, the SmackDown World Championship. I know he did that with the women's later on. Anyway, JBL and Christian was in the last, like a little tournament. JBL had defeated Christian, and JBL thought he had won the new SmackDown World title, and he won. He was happy, and Teddy on, let me holler at you, player. You did win the match, player, but we don't need that SmackDown World title no more. And JBL was talking about, well, we have a draft pick, and it's Batista, the World Heavyweight Champion. So what they did was, instead of giving him, since that title, it's not existent, instead of you winning this new title, JBL, you are now the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship against Batista, the new drafted to SmackDown. This match will be at SummerSlam for a Texas Bull Rope match. Now, the thing about it is, I think they had a match prior to this. They did have a match. For people saying, oh, they had, I know. They did have a match prior. They had a match at the Great American Bash, which was a SmackDown branded event. The thing about it was the match ended in DQ. Of course, title cannot switch hands on DQ. So JBL got another opportunity at the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. And this was a Texas Bull Rope match. And Batista defeated him. And Batista was still the World Heavyweight Champion. Just want to know, I'm sorry, no holds barred. That was the Texas Bull Rope at Great American Bash. This was a no holds barred, and Batista retained his title. So that's how JBL got put into the world title hunt.
And I kind of like JBL as the heel champion. I think he would have been he represents what $1 Million Man would have been had he won the world title. Even though the $1 Million Man is a way better technical wrestler.
Way better JBL. JBL was a tag team dude with the Acolytes or APA. I mean, he just had the great gimmick, and it fit him. He kind of, JBL always reminded me of a bigger, taller Miz, if you know what I mean, with the character. Right. Him and Miz were always similar to me. He was a bigger, taller version of the Miz. You got the character down, and you want the title at the right time. That's kind of how the Miz is.
One more time.
This is a wreck. He's moving like an uncaged animal.
No lie, he's wild in there.
And back to what I to.
Yeah.
They had a Texas Bull match at SmackDown. That's what ended the feud between JBL and Batista. Just want to notate that. That's how the feud ended. They had another match, and it was a Texas Bull, and I don't think it was for the title. But that's how the feud ended. But yeah, JBL was always a bigger miss.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Great info. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you're new over here. And we're going to carry on, guys. Because next, we went over this match already. We went over this. This is the Hogan and Shawn Michaels main event, guys. And at the end of the day, they did business. You know what I mean? Hogan can't tell Shawn Michaels how to do his business as long as he's doing the business. And one thing I get it. And this is the wrestling business is a dirty business, guys. Understand. Y'all go check that video out on how Vern Gagne and AWA fumbled the bag with Hulk Hogan. And you guys will see why Hulk Hogan is the way he is. You guys, y'all beat Hulk Hogan up. Y'all beat these stars up who paid dues and got treated how they got treated. Y'all forget, Stone Cold is just as sleazy as Hulk Hogan, Triple H, all of them, because they all had to pay dues and they all had somebody older than them at one point holding them down, oppressing them. You know what I mean? Salute to Shawn Michaels though for understanding, and he's one of the best. Shawn Michaels is one of the biggest politicians. This was a battle of egos, KD.
And you lucky this was the 90s Shawn Michaels. It would not end it this way. I guarantee you that if there was a 90s Shawn Michaels Hulk, this match wouldn't even happen. No way.
You was right. You was spot on.
But it was an older Shawn Michaels. It was an older, mature Shawn Michaels. Also, I will notate what you said about the egos. The only superstar that was a world champion, that was a face of WWE that never I heard politics was The Rock. He the only one I heard that did not play that game. Rock put over anybody. He put over a lot of people.
Right. The Undertaker. I have never heard The Undertaker not willing to put over anybody.
Yeah, those guys never politic. Now, Triple H, Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan, even your beloved John Cena, they play politics. Even Roman played politics a few times.
Yes, he playing politics right now.
Yeah, Roman Reigns didn't want to wrestle Bray Wyatt when he first became Universal Champion. So that's politics too. Nobody, him or Brock, didn't want to work with Bray. So that's politicking right there. That's another reason why Bray Wyatt was kind of buried, because the bigger guy, the bigger names didn't want to work with him. They did it because it's his dark character, supernatural character. So that's politicking too. But other than that, yeah, Rock and Undertaker, they didn't play that game. And these are guys that are former world champions. These are guys who was at the top of the mountain. They didn't play that game. They didn't play that. They worked with whoever.
And with that said, guys, we moving on to the next.
He knows his opponent is completely helpless to resist the submission hold. He's in full-on attack mode now. There's what?